As great a win as this would have been, that's how devastating the loss is. 10-9, the Phillies fall to the New York Mets after the Mets score runs in the top of the ninth inning, and the Phillies fail to counter with enough runs in the bottom of the ninth. Ben Davis, I'm Michael Barkan. We welcome you to Phillies Postgame Live, presented by Cure Auto Insurance. John Kruk in a few moments. And Ben, when you look at the combined Mets no-hitter against the Phillies, that was in April, then in early May. It was the Phillies collapse. They were up 7-0, 7-1 in the ninth inning, and the Mets won that game. And I realize the Mets are just a better team. I realize they can execute better than the Phillies. You talk about a double steal that the Mets execute and score a run. The Phillies try it. They fail to do it. The same with the throw by Rhys Hoskins today. Didn't work. Pete Alonso does it. It works. They're a better team. The question is where the Phillies go from here after a, 5-14 season record against the Mets.
You think it shouldn't happen. It can happen. 5-14 against the Mets this year. 0-9 in games started by Aaron Nola and Zach Wheeler against said Mets this season. You're thinking there's no way that's going to happen. There's no way the Phillies are not going to win any of those 9 starts against the Mets with Nola and Wheeler on the mound. The Mets today look like a team. Think about everything that happened in today's ball game. Alec Bowen with a tremendous day, 6 RBIs, 2 home runs. The Mets look like a team trying to fight their way into a playoff spot as opposed to the team that's running away with the division. They played tremendous baseball. I give the Phillies credit because of they were able to bounce back a couple times. But the bottom line is it's another loss for the Phillies. It's another loss against a team that has handed to them the entire season. I'm sure there's a lot of hanging heads in that clubhouse over there for Philadelphia, but it's just a sour taste. You're thinking, okay, I've had enough of these guys. And to come out on the losing end in that fashion, to have Gene Segura go up and have that pinch hit home run, the stadium is rocking, the city is on fire, and then to have it just the air all let out of your balloon like that, it's devastating. And you wonder if this is going to get into the psyche of the Phillies. They do have some teams coming in this week that I think can right the ship. But the bottom line is it's going to be tough going to sleep tonight on that pillow.
It sure will. Let's check in with John Kruk, called this afternoon's game with Tom McCarthy. John, I mentioned at the top of the show that the Mets execute. I mean, flat out, they execute. They hit in the clutch. They make the plays they need to make. And the Phillies, unfortunately, do not do that with the same consistency at best. And I'm wondering, is there blame there, or is it just the Mets are a better team and the Phillies just don't have the talent?
You look, the Phillies are, they're still in this playoff thing. So, I mean, to say that they don't have the talent, the Mets are a better team. We know that. But, you talked about the play Alonso made on the pickoff, throw to second, executed. Rhys threw one high. But, if you watch that, Rhys's back foot, his plant foot, or his push-off foot slipped twice on that play. So you're lucky he didn't air mail it into left center field and have Marte go to third base. But, I'm not making excuses for anything. The Mets, 3 out of the 4 games just outplayed the Phillies. And, I heard Ben say, when you get the emotion of what Segura did, and you see Gene going just absolutely crazy with the motion after that pinch hit home run, and then McNeil doubles, and then you're like, oh boy, here we go. And you hope David Robertson would figure a way to get out of it. The bullpen was short. We know that because of Knebel and Sir Anthony. So they give David Robertson credit. He took the ball when a lot of guys wouldn't have, but or wouldn't have wanted to. But he took the ball, and it just didn't work out. And I think what hurt, too, when you had to bring in Alvarado in, the 6th inning, and I firmly believe that he was going to pitch 2 innings. But because he pitched the 1 clean inning, struck out 2, and then the rain delay. Couldn't bring him back out for that 2nd inning. So I don't know that for a fact if he was coming out for the 2nd inning, but I would assume he was going to since they brought him in so early in the game.
Hey, Johnny, you look at this. You talk about the use of the bullpen. 7 pitchers used to combine today for the Phillies, obviously starting with Gibson. 105 pitches in just 4 1/3. What did you see out of him today? Just not able to finish guys off?
Yeah, he had trouble finishing guys off, but he was just, normally Kyle's, pretty good about, staying around the strike zone, but he just got a little crooked today with it. You know, and you know, you hate to say that, you know, you get a 4-run lead in the first inning. You know, you got to figure out a way to win that game. But yeah, Kyle he wasn't right today for some reason. His breaking ball wasn't sharp. He threw a couple good ones, a couple good sinkers, but you know, for the most part, he battled through that 4 2/3. You know, I mean, you said how many pitches did he throw? Over 100 pitches in 4 2/3. That's a battle, and he tried to battle through it, and it just didn't work out for him.
All right, John, we'll talk to you tomorrow. Thanks so much. Tough one
Can't
to
wait.
digest. I know. I can't either. I hope you're more positive tomorrow, John. Okay. No smile, nothing. All right. We'll check you tomorrow. John Kruk joining us from the booth. The ninth inning was absolutely brutal for the Phillies, and trying to keep the Mets off the board. I really thought that they were going to be able to do it. I had penciled it in. No, I shouldn't have, as a Phillies victory.
Yeah, you're thinking with all the emotions that we were just talking about, that the Phillies have to win this ball game. It's just, again, it's such an emotional roller coaster, this great game of baseball. But man, I tell you, it's not going to be easy to go to sleep tonight for these guys. This is just one of those that it's a sucker punch right to the gut, and you're down on the canvas and you don't know how to get back up.
When you lose a game like this, all the answers are wrong, but I'm going to press you again on the Canna home run. If they pitch around it, I'm not talking like he's Barry Bonds. I'm just saying if they're more careful with him. You got Beatty coming up next. He struck out swinging. He's batting 139. You got Perez, who struck out looking. He's batting 149. You've got two weak hitters. So imagine if Canna is on first base and it's first and second.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from, but you have McNeil on second base, and then if you do walk Canna with nobody out, Beatty's most likely going to lay a bunt down. Then you're going to have second and third with the winning run on second base with just one out. I'll take my chances there with a veteran like Robertson. I know he pitched a lot last night, but, you know, it's just one of those days for Canna that he got the best of the Phillies. But I think if you're going to put the winning run on first base with nobody out, I don't like that's a recipe for disaster, in my opinion.
All right, wild card standing is the Phillies drop to the third wild card position as San Diego beats Washington, and they're the Padres, a half game up on the Phils. Not good. And you have the Milwaukee Brewers lurking, and they go out to face the Giants as well, the Phillies. The Giants will have something to say, and they trail the Mets, the Phils, by 12 games in the National League East. A very difficult afternoon to stomach.
It was a long one.
How frustrating was this one? Bullpen's been.
Well, the bullpen's been taxed all weekend, you know. They were, you know, those guys did a nice job grinding on our starters and had to get into our bullpen early in almost every game. So, you know, so I'm proud of them for continuing to fight and the entire team, really. I mean, is it disappointing to lose? Certainly. But I'm really proud of the entire club, just the way they fought. Just wait, you know, we get up 4, they come back. We go up 3, they come back. You know, just back and forth, and they just kept fighting.
How much harder do your bullpen decisions get when you don't have certainty in the back, and it just sort of is a chain effect?
I mean, it's a little bit more difficult, but you know, we still have guys that we rely on and have a lot of confidence in to get it done. It's just, you know, they're a little taxed right now. So, you know.
So you went to Robert. He threw 36 yesterday.
Yeah.
You talked to him before the game. Was it only if, you know, kind of?
Yeah, he was an emergency, and then he called down in the 9th and said, you know, if we take the lead, I'm good. I want it. So we gave it to him.
It turned out Nimmo's home run off Sear turned out to be big. What was the decision to take him out?
So once they go up 1, it's pretty difficult to score off that guy, although we did. But at that point, it's Robbie's health that I'm concerned about. So he was at 20 pitches, and that's about where I wanted to limit it. So, yeah, so then Sear came in, and the home run turned out to be big, but I'd do it the exact same way every time because I'm not going to get him hurt.
Especially following Sir Anthony and Knebel being.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
right? I mean,
And that doesn't have anything to do with it. It's just I would, even if Knebel and Sir Anthony were on the club and there was nothing wrong with them, I'd still do it that way.
Started or had been throwing. Was he consideration there, or just because he got up and down?
If So if we were tied going into the ninth, it would have been Sammy. But then once they took the lead, if Sammy pitches today, he's down tomorrow. So once they took the lead, we went to Sear. He'll be okay tomorrow.
Given how taxed the bullpen has been, I'm guessing it's going to be tough to manage this over the next few days.
Yeah, we're going to need some length. I'm sure Dave and Sam will come down and we'll talk about the bullpen situation, but it'd be nice to get some length. So.
After the first couple innings, it looks like his pace went, bad. It's like he just lost his command. Was that kind of your read on it?
Yeah, I think he did lose his command a little bit, And they put some tough at-bats on him. They really did. I mean, I don't know how many foul balls I've seen in this series, so you got to give him some credit.
Right. Is it just good to get this season series over with them the way it's going for you guys? Get them all done for good.
Well, I mean, we're going to face them again, hopefully. And, playoff baseball is a little bit different than the regular season, but I think for the most part, in the last two series, we played them pretty tough. They're a good ball club, and we're a good ball club.
Are you eager to see how you guys bounce back now the Mets are off the schedule and, you face some teams you've had success with?
Yeah, well, all year we've really bounced back on tough losses, so I'm expecting the same thing tomorrow. We just got to come out here and get after Cincinnati.
Rob Thompson, postgame, he talked about David Robertson and why he took him out and not leave him in as opposed to bringing Sear in the game. Robertson pitched 36 pitches yesterday, 20-some-odd pitches today, and he said, I'm not going to get him hurt. You had to do it that way. Agree?
You had to. Last thing you want, especially with this Sarah Anthony injury, the last thing you want is to have David Robertson go down for any type of injury. He's coming off Tommy John as well. So, yeah, it was the right move to get him out of there. The Phillies are just short-staffed right now in the bullpen, and, they need some length out of Syndergaard tomorrow.
He also said of Robertson that Robertson called the dugout and said in the ninth, if we take the lead, I'm good, I want it. So I gave it to him. And you cannot argue with that.
No.
The guy's a veteran. He's pitched in high leverage situations before in his career. And so he gave it to him, and he did not have his stuff today.
Well, first and foremost, give me that guy on my ball club any day of the week. That's a teammate I would look up to and admire. He's a veteran guy. He knows his body. He knows that they were short-staffed, and he could give maybe just a little bit more, and that's exactly what he did. It didn't work out that way for him, but I'll take that guy on my team any day of the week.
All right. About an hour ago, it looked like Gene Segura had the game winner.